Whether you're brand new to investing or not, I'm about to show you two investments that you can easily start buying that would cover everything that you would need to start building serious wealth. In fact, the two ETFs that I'm about to show you, they make up the majority of my investment portfolio, and there are plenty of reasons why that is, and you'll see why throughout this video. But before we get started, my name is Sully. I run the company InvestLane with the mission to help others learn how to save and invest wisely to build lasting wealth. And all I ask is that if you do find value from this video, that you consider hitting the like, subscribe, and notifications button for future content like this. With that said, let's start this off with the first ETF that serves as a foundation to nearly any investment portfolio. Now, I'm going to cover how this simple two-fund portfolio would have done later in the video, but for those that don't know what an ETF is short for an exchange traded fund. And all that means is that when you go to buy an ETF, you are getting instant exposure to hundreds to thousands of different investments all within one purchase. And so the first ETF that I'm including here tracks the S&P 500, which allows you to own 500 of the largest publicly traded US-based companies all within one purchase. Now, also know that there are many different ETFs that you can buy that track the S&P 500, whether that be Vanguard's VOO, iShares IVV, State Street's SPY, or their cheaper long-term buy and hold version that is SPYM. What's also interesting here is that the S&P 500 is by far the most popular index that investors own, where you can see the top three largest ones in the market are the ones I just mentioned that are VOO, IVV, and SPY that all have over $700 billion in assets under their management toward each. But to keep things simple, I'm going to use Vanguard's VOO for this example and for data purposes, but realize that all these ETFs, they're all very similar since they all track the S&P 500. Now, when we look at VOO, you can see that this fund currently has 504 holdings, where the top companies in the fund include Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft that each make up between 5 to 7.5% of the weight toward the fund. And largely because of this, infotech is the largest sector in the fund by having 32.9% of the entire weight, with other top sectors being financials and communication services in the double digits. Which, if we look at the historical data for the S&P 500, you can see VOO over the past year has grown close to 18%, which is very similar to the past 3-year average. And then the past 5-year average was 12% per year, and the past 10-year average was just over 14% per year. Now, if you don't realize how good that actually is, all that means is that if you bought the S&P 500 10 years ago, let's say with $100,000, and you simply held on to it and never contributed any more, then that $100,000 would now be worth $374,000 by today. Which, don't forget that those returns you see already include the annual expense that it costs to own the fund per year, which is known as the expense ratio, and it also assumes that you are reinvesting the dividends. But as far as the annual expense for VOO, the fund currently charges a 0.03% expense ratio, which means for every $10,000 that you invest, it would cost you $3 per year to own the fund. IVV also has this same price of 0.03%. SPY is more so for active traders. That comes in at 0.0945% of an expense ratio, but their cheaper long-term version, SPYM, has a 0.02% expense ratio. Not to mention, but for those that are looking even cheaper, another option is BKLC that has a 0% expense ratio. It literally doesn't get cheaper than that. And so to also add to this, realize that VOO has paid a dividend yield of 1.09% over the trailing 12 months. And something that many also don't realize is that the dividends from VOO or any S&P 500 ETF, they're very high in the potential for qualified dividends, where you can see for VOO, that was 97.16% as of 2025. The reason that this is really important to know is because there are two types of dividends that you could reap, and the difference determines how the income that you generate is going to be taxed. The first type are what's called ordinary dividends, which is pretty much the default that you're automatically set to get, and the income from them that is called ordinary dividends, that is triggered on top of your ordinary income that is going to be taxed in the range of 10 to 37%. Then we have the second type that is qualified dividends that I just mentioned about VOO with 97%, and all that means is that if your investment allows the dividends to be qualified and you meet the holding period that requires that you've held the shares for more than 60 days during the 121-day period that starts 60 days before the ex-dividend date, then that means your income could be generated in the 0, 15, or 20% tax bracket. This is something that most don't think about, but truly has a big difference in taxes over time, which is why we created this graphic at InvestLane to show the impact from taxes and the type that are triggered, where VOO and a growth fund like SCHG, they're among the most tax efficient options, where income producing ones like JPI are among the worst. So especially if you are investing in an account that is taxed, you want to understand this and aim for the most tax-efficient investments, where growth-oriented stocks or index funds are near the top, and high-income producing investments are ideal to avoid in taxable accounts. Which, if you want to pause this video to learn more about this, feel free to go ahead. But speaking of all that, let's now move on to the number 2 ETF that I consider the growth engine. Now, when it comes to the second ETF, there are a few solid options that I recommend that would be either Invesco's QQQ, Vanguard's VUG, or Charles Schwab's SCHG. All those ETFs are oriented towards US large cap growth stocks, but they vary slightly based on their underlying index. For example, QQQ tracks the NASDAQ 100 that gives you access to the performance of 100 of the largest non-financial companies listed on the NASDAQ, where VUG tracks the performance of the CRSP US large cap growth index and now contains 153 holdings, where SCHG tracks the Dow Jones US large cap growth total stock market index that currently has 196 holdings. Now for this video, I'm just going to use Invesco's QQQ because that is the largest of the three, where you can see it is currently the 5th largest ETF in the world based on its assets under its management being $432 billion. And I will say personally, I like Charles Schwab's SCHG the most right now. And if you want to see an entire video comparing those 3 ETFs, I'll have our entire video that we created at InvestLane linked in the description below. But the first thing to mention about QQQ is the cost that it takes to own the fund per year, which is known as the expense ratio. And you can see that for QQQ, it has a 0.18% expense ratio. This is a solid expense, especially considering how good this fund has done historically for its investors. But one thing to point out here is that there is another alternative that Invesco offers here that is called QQQM. And this fund is more so meant for long-term investors that are solely looking to buy and hold the investment, which is because it has a slightly cheaper expense ratio of 0.15%. But of the top companies that are inside of the fund, we have ones like Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft that each make up roughly 6 to 9% of the weight toward the fund, where the top 10 holdings when combined make up roughly 47% of the entire fund's weight. And largely because of that, technology is the largest sector in the fund, by making up nearly 60% of the entire fund's weight, with consumer discretionary thereafter at about 21%. Not to mention, but VOO and QQQ, they have a 52% overlap by weight, which is largely because of top companies like Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Broadcom. So just realize there that this overlap means you're heavily weighted toward big tech companies, so you're going to want to expect higher volatility. But best of all, with QQQ, the fund has actually grown 18.97% per year on average over the past 10 years, which means a $100,000 investment 10 years ago would now be worth $568,000 by today. And not just that, but QQQ has a super low dividend yield of 0.42%, making it a very tax efficient investment to hold and build serious wealth from. All right, so knowing that about VOO and QQQ, let's now see how these two funds stack up inside a simple 2 ETF portfolio example. Now this portfolio is best for long-term investors, ideally a good 10 plus years that you can invest without having to touch the funds, and that you are comfortable with volatility and would prefer a higher growth potential rather than stability. And so a generic example that I'm going to use here that many may be interested to start with is having 50% toward the S&P 500 through VOO, or other alternatives like IVV, SPY for active traders, or SPYM that are all solid options. And then from there, the other 50% to go towards US large cap growth stocks through an ETF like QQQ, QQQM if you're simply long-term investing, Vanguard's VUG, or Charles Schwab's SCHG that are all top options to consider. Which also realize that you don't need more than one of each of the S&P 500 and large cap growth ETFs because they would pretty much overlap a lot of the exposure that you're already investing into, which is why you really only need the 2 ETFs I'm mentioning to build serious wealth. Now, I have to say, if you are just getting started and want to see some of the top platforms to invest through, I'll have a direct link in the description below to our reviews by InvestLane on top options to help you get started with. All right, now if you are like me and you want to go beyond just 2 investments, let's now go over optional add-ons that you may be interested in. Now, the best part about this is that you don't have to use each of the ETFs that I'm about to mention, but at least becoming aware of them is at least great to know about. And so from a previous video that I created on the ultimate ETF portfolio that includes 10 ETFs, the first setup that I refer to here is the foundation, and to have that be about 50 to 70% and be combined from both an S&P 500 ETF and large cap growth ETF, like the 2 that I mentioned earlier, where the simplest examples were VOO and QQQ. But from there, the next path is towards strategic tilts with a potential 20 to 40% that consist of large cap momentum with SPMO, mid cap momentum momentum with XMMO, small cap value with AVUV, infotech through Vanguard's VGT, and then a semiconductor ETF gaining exposure from SMH. After that, to get away from US stock exposure, I like diversifying in the range of 5 to 15% towards something like international with VXUS, VEA, or IEFA, and then gold with GLD or GLDM, and then Bitcoin with FBTC. And then for those that are truly looking for a dividend income, while I'm personally not in the stage of my life where I'm looking for that right now, two of the top options that I'd recommend as optional add-ons, depending on what you are looking for in your own situation, that would be toward dividend equity with SCHD or dividend growth with DGRO. All these ETFs are among my favorite ones right now, and if you want to learn more, I highly recommend checking out that video and other content that I've created and through my startup InvestLane that I'll have linked in the description below. Which, don't forget, the past doesn't guarantee anything in the future, but if you are interested to see data for all these ETFs all in one place, I highly recommend checking out our free index fund cheat sheet that we've created at InvestLane. And if you want to get started on a new investing platform or even top high yield savings accounts, I'll have direct links in the description below to our reviews by InvestLane to help you get started. At the end of the day, I want you to do what's best for your finances, but do know that depending on the ones that you choose to get started with, I may earn a commission for it, which is greatly appreciated. And as always, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notifications button for future content like this.